This repair guide will teach you how to repair and maintain your Rinnai water heater. Whether it's error codes, troubleshooting, or repair tips, the appliance helpers are here to help. For more information, check out our website. There's a link in the description. Enjoy the video. If you're looking for help fixing your Rinnai water heater, look no further. Our comprehensive Rinnai water heater error code guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and show you how to read your model's error codes. Code 02. Problem: no burner operation during freeze protection mode. Fix: call a plumber. Code 03. Problem: power interruption during bath fill. Fix: turn off all hot water faucets. Taps: press the on/off button twice. Turn hot water back on and test. You may have to try this a couple of times to reset the system. Code 10. Problem: exhaust or air supply blocked. Fix: look for blockages in both the flue inlet and exhaust. Are the venting components properly connected? Check the condensation collar. Is it loose or improperly installed? Code 11. Problem: ignition problem. Fix: is the gas on? Check at the water heater, gas meter, or cylinder. Code 12. Problem: flame failure. Fix: check power supply. Any loose connections? What is the voltage? Any voltage drops? Is the flame rod wire connected? Any problems with carbon buildup on the flame rod? Code 14. Problem: thermal fuse. Fix: check for airflow restrictions. Code 16. Problem: over temperature warming. Fix: check for clogs or obstructions in the combustion chamber, exhaust piping, and heat exchanger. Code 32. Problem: outgoing water temperature sensor fault. Fix: carefully examine the sensor. Look for damage and scale build up. You probably have to replace the sensor if cleaning it doesn't help. Code 33. Problem: heat exchanger outgoing temperature sensor fault. Fix: carefully examine the sensor. Look for damage and scale build up and make sure the fan blade is tight on the motor shaft and is undamaged. You probably have to replace the sensor if cleaning it doesn't help. Code 34. Problem: combustion air temperature sensor fault. Fix: carefully examine the sensor and wiring. Look for damage and scale build up. You probably have to replace the sensor if cleaning it doesn't help. Code 52. Problem: modulating solenoid valve signal abnormal. Fix: check the modulating gas solenoid valve wiring harness for loose or damaged terminals. You may be able to resolve the problem by tightening loose terminals. Code 61. Problem: combustion fan failure. Fix: any problems with the wiring harness? Maybe it has been damaged or has loose connections. Is there a problem with the motor winding resistance? Code 65. Problem: water flow control fault. Fix: immediately turn off the water and discontinue the bath fill function. Then call a plumber. Code 71. Problem: solenoid valve circuit fault. Fix: you probably need to replace the solenoid valve. First, check the wiring harness to all solenoids. Measure resistance of each solenoid valve coil. Code 72. Problem: flame sensing device fault. Fix: check to see if the flame rod is touching flame when the unit fires. Examine the wiring to flame rod for damage. Clean the flame rod with sandpaper. If you're looking for help fixing your Rinnai water heater, look no further. Our comprehensive Rinnai water heater troubleshooting guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and show you how to read your model's error codes. Hard water. One of the most common issues many homeowners are dealing with in on-demand water heating is exposure to hard water. The high concentration of mineral deposits in water is the main cause of the sediment build-up, especially in the heat exchangers. Rinnai tankless heaters are equipped with the scale control system that provides limescale and corrosion protection. If the problem occurs, you will notice the error code LC0-LC9, which represents the scale build-up problem inside the heat exchanger. Water flow. Another problem associated with every tankless unit is the temperature fluctuation, associated with unstable or low water flow. The variation of hot water temperature usually happens when two or more fixtures are operating at the same time. The unit must have the minimum flow reached. Otherwise, even with the slightly lower water flow than the minimum required, you might have the problem. By increasing the flow rate, the problem can be solved. No ignition. When there is no gas ignition, the heater is off. Test the igniter and see is it still working. This includes checking the loose connections. damaged wiring harness, and removing the deposits from the electrodes. Check the burner and clean it if necessary from the dirt and debris, also condensation. Are all electric elements properly grounded, and does the gas valve have short circuits? No flame. If there is no flame, use some of these tips for troubleshooting. Check the loose connections and the proper voltage on the power supply. PC board and igniter. Ensure that the gas burner is not clogged and the igniter does not contain carbon buildup. High temperature. The thermal fuse has been activated due to the high temperature in the combustion chamber and venting. Ensure that there is no blockage in the vent system, lack of combustion air. Clean or replace the heat exchanger if it is dirty. Has the scale buildup? There is debris burning, or it is damaged. Increase the water flow if it is too low. Issues with the PC board. Make sure that the PC board gets the electrical power without any obstructions. If it is damaged, replace the board. Also, replace the board if you get the error code 71, which indicates the problem with the solenoid valve circuit. Flame sensor. Make sure that the flame sensor is touching the flame. If there is limescale buildup, use the fine sandpaper and clean it. All the wiring should be without damages and connections must be tight. Replace the element if it is needed. If you're looking for help fixing your Rinnai water heater, look no further. Our comprehensive Rinnai water heater repair guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and maybe show you how to repair your appliance. Rinnai manufactures appliances that homeowners have come to trust. Even a trustworthy appliance requires occasional maintenance or repair. However, if you're in need of Rinnai appliance repair from experienced professionals, your local appliance helper can help. The water heater is not heating. Some gas water heaters have a thermocouple. The thermocouple detects the pilot flame. If the thermocouple does not detect a flame, it will prevent the gas valve from opening. The gas valve opens to allow gas to enter the burner. If the gas valve does not open, the burner will not light, and the water heater will not heat. First, ensure that the ignition source is working properly. Second, ensure that the gas valve has pressure. If the ignition source is working, and the gas valve has pressure, consider replacing the gas valve and thermostat. Water heater leaking. The temperature and pressure relief valve opens to stabilize the temperature or pressure of the water heater if the temperature or pressure exceeds the proper level. The temperature and pressure relief valve open at a set temperature. This temperature is indicated on the water heater. If the temperature and pressure relief valve leak even though it has not reached the indicated relief temperature, replace it. The drain valve can be opened to drain the water heater for maintenance or to flush out mineral deposits from the tank. If the drain valve is leaking, drain the tank and replace the drain valve. The water heater is not lighting. Some water heaters use an igniter to ignite the gas. If the igniter fails, the burner will not light. To determine if the igniter is defective, first make sure the igniter is getting voltage. If the igniter is getting voltage, but it doesn't glow, this indicates that the igniter is defective and should be replaced. The pressure switch closes when the proper airflow is achieved, signaling the control board to continue the ignition process. If the pressure switch is defective, the ignition process will stall, and the water heater will not light. The water heater is too hot. The thermostat determines the maximum water temperature setting. If the thermostat is defective, the water temperature may not be set at the proper level. To determine if the thermostat is defective, assess hot water temperature from the nearest faucet. If the water temperature is hotter than the selected thermostat setting, this indicates that the thermostat is defective. If the thermostat is defective, replace the gas valve and thermostat assembly. We recommend a set temperature of 120 degrees or fewer to prevent the risk of scalding. If the heating element is shorted out, it will heat continuously, causing the water to get too hot. To determine if the heating element is shorted out, use a multimeter to test if the element is shorted to ground. If heating element is shorted out, replace it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more repair guides.